Martin Zubimendi, the Spanish superstar midfielder, in fact one of the goal scorers in that final against Portugal the other night, is a here we go finally for Arsenal. Welcome to the transfer market. Welcome to this year's transfer window, Arsenal. Manchester City and Liverpool have been leaving Arsenal completely behind in this window. And if they are going to cement their challenge again this year in trying to get that Premier League crown and get a trophy for Mikel Arteta, they need to get a move on because, like I just said, they are way behind the others at the moment up there in City and Liverpool. But finally, we have movement for Arsenal. It has been the biggest and longest here we go in transfer history. Back in January, Zubimendi has agreed to sign for Arsenal. They're months later, nothing. Even the window opening, nothing. Zubimendi coming out and talking about the false news and having to put out a picture on social media just to convince people that he isn't in London signing details for his Arsenal contract. It has been a bit of a sham, to be honest. And I said it a moment ago, they're one of the longest dragged out here we goes or done deals you're ever going to get in any transfer window ever. It's crazy right now what's happening in this transfer market, and this is just added to it. But what we can say is that this, with Fabrizio Romano, with David Ornstein, with anybody notable, has confirmed it. It is a done deal. Zubimendi will be replacing what is common knowledge to everyone in football, particularly in Arsenal, Thomas Partey and his departure from Arsenal this summer. So, as it stands, Arsenal are exactly where they was when the season finished. They've lost a midfielder. They've brought in a good midfielder. Is that enough? Nowhere near enough for Arsenal right now to mount a challenge. But what they have done at least is, with a player leaving and someone coming to the back end of his career, they've replaced him with a younger model. Some would say better model, although Partey has been a great servant for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta in particular. His injuries have always sort of caught up with him over the last few years. He has been one of them good players when available, but the availability factor has been an issue. Zubimendi coming in, a fantastic record over at Real Sociedad. Stonewall dead cert for the Spanish side every single day. And Zubimendi was that player that replaced Rodri in that final against England, when England fans had their hopes up thinking, Rodri's off, this is great news. And then literally Zubimendi came on and was better. And England lost the game again in a final. Look, all that just looks good for Arsenal. They've got, you could arguably say, a better player in than Partey. And that's saying something, because Partey was decent. Partey was a decent footballer. And him going and Zubimendi coming in, Arsenal are at least at level par right now. They've not hit any bogeys yet in golfing terms. They're level par where he was. Still a lot of work to do, but it just seems to have taken an absolute age to get this deal over the line. But finally, Arsenal fans can have a sigh of relief and rest a little bit easier in this deal in getting Zubimendi over the line. This one is all done. Now what are Arsenal going to do next? Well, the next story is obviously going to be about that striker. That's all that matters. There is a story on Alejandro Garnacho going to Arsenal, and Arsenal being very, very interested in him. Manchester United are open to selling him to anybody right now. So you've got Garnacho to Arsenal, the links there. Then you've got the obvious, which is Benjamin Sesko. Still no extra news on top of the original news what we've got over the last few days, which is Arsenal now are in advanced talks to try and sign Benjamin Sesko. He is their top striker target. So that deal is obviously one that Arsenal fans will be looking out for. Garnacho. All in all, really, Arsenal looking to strengthen depth because of the injury situation that came up upon Arteta last year. He bemoaned it all season and said it was the reason why Arsenal didn't compete right to the end, particularly in the Premier League. At the end, he was getting a lot of his team back for the Champions League, but ultimately, his forwards let him down. They didn't score enough goals. Everywhere else on the pitch were exceptional. And I can see a midfield, honestly, a midfield of Zubimendi, Odegaard, Declan Rice. That looks tasty. I've got to be honest, that looks tasty. But like last season, without that forward, it counts for absolutely nothing. Arsenal need to get into the market and get that striker done and over the line. There are plenty available there, obviously. Osimhen has not signed for Al Hilal. He is available. Gyökeres looks more favourable for Manchester United now. Could they go back in for him? Benjamin Sesko talks as well. And you've got all of them options open to you. If Mikel Arteta does not sign a striker this transfer window, Zubimendi counts for nothing, because I don't think that Mikel Arteta will be carrying on and getting the best out of Zubimendi, because if Arsenal don't start winning trophies soon and all this money keeps being invested in, sooner or later Arsenal are going to have to bring in somebody who can get this team over the line. And this is why this window is massive for Arteta now. They've backed him, they're going to back him, but like we said, sooner or later, where are the trophies? You're going to be creeping up to $1 billion spent near enough before Mikel Arteta has won a bleeding trophy. It's too much. So, not at $1 billion yet, by the way. It is creeping up there, though, with the way that things are going with Arsenal and Arteta so far. Is this the season when they actually pick up silverware is the question. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Garnacho links from an Arsenal side of things as well. And also with Benjamin Sesko or one of the other strikers. Who is the best striker to go in and fit in that good Arsenal side right now? Because it is a very good side. If you think Martinelli one side, you think Xhaka the other, you put a number 9 in there with Odegaard, Zubimendi and Declan Rice behind. If they can keep hold of Saliba and you've got Gabriel, obviously you're looking Miles Skelly to get him tied down, sorted. That's a good fullback on that side. Whether White comes back, you're getting another goalkeeper in, so you're getting a lot of cover all over the place. I actually feel Arsenal need 2 strikers. I mean, you've got Havertz and Jesus, obviously, who can be backup. So you could probably say you've got enough room there, haven't you? But striker is massive for Arsenal right now. It has to be off the back of Zubimendi. You're pretty much gathering momentum and cover all over the pitch. Arsenal's starting 11, if they sign a decent striker with Zubimendi now coming in and everyone's fit, is enough to compete with any team in the world. It really is. And we've seen that through their games with PSG, Real Madrid in the Champions League final, competing with City, Liverpool. Look, Arsenal just need to have that mentality check, and you need a beast up front to score your goals out of nothing, because there's going to be some games when teams just sit back against Arsenal and it's all going to happen like it did last season. Zubimendi, he will pick pockets. He will find them passes. He's a very, very intelligent player, and he's an absolute fantastic signing for Arsenal. But they are going to have to get out there and get a striker. Otherwise, it's going to be the same old Arsenal. Not always cheating, as the song goes, but always failing and not picking up a trophy. It's important now that the pressure is mounted on Arteta to buy that striker. As an opposition fan, I won't forgive Arteta if he doesn't buy a striker. It's so clear from everybody looking in at the Emirates right now what's needed. And that's a bleeding striker, Mikel. Now get in there and get it done, and get into that board and make sure that they fund another striker coming into Arsenal, because that will be Arsenal realistically contending for every trophy again next season. If they don't get a striker, forget it. Zubimendi, brilliant replacement for Partey. Absolutely fantastic signing for Arsenal, but they need more. Get in the comments section. Is Zubimendi better than Partey? Is it an upgrade? And who is Arsenal's best striker to go for that is available in the market right now? Give this video a like if you're loving the constant updates. That's your big transfer one today. Here we go for Arsenal finally. Hit that subscribe button also to keep up to date with everything going on in the Prem and all the big transfer dealings. See you in the next window, everybody. See you in the next video even, everybody.